Hey man, how we going?
If you just joined, my microphone was on mute. I couldn't hear anything. Are we live on
Ah,
YouTube?
oh, I have no idea. I have no idea. Let me have a look. I was watching the other one. Oh, yeah, I think we might be.
Yep, 16 watching. Yep, both are live. No
There
sound,
we
no
go.
sound fixed. Thank you very much, guys. Had a lot of difficulties. And in between, we started watching Bojidar's live stream. So if you want to watch the press conference, and I think you should
Actually,
go to Kirsten Prodigy YouTube channel.
Kirsten Prodigy's channel right now. It's a killer.
The
If
live stream is
it's amazing.
it is really awesome. So welcome to the video, Arm Wrestling fans. My name is Pradeep. How are you doing, Ryan?
Man, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. I'm looking forward to this match, this Bozhidar and Kirsten match because I'm very vested in this. But anyway, yeah, I'm doing well, man.
All right. So, uh, do you remember the topics? Man, I'm getting confused here. I'm getting the echo of my own voice in my earphones. I need to
Ah,
close
yeah,
these
yeah,
tabs.
you need
So
to mute. Yeah, go
let's
for it.
start with Kirsten versus Bojidar. The live press conference is going on right now. Can Kirsten pull off the unbelievable?
It's a long shot. It has to be a long shot. I mean, Kirsten has very little experience in terms of the actual competition where he goes. It's his as self-proclaimed, it's his first ever professional super match up in lights. And he's taking on a man, Bozhidar Simeonov, who is the current WAF world champion at 80 kilos, highly decorated, highly experienced. It's just strength may not be the issue. I don't think it is the issue at all. When you look at Kirsten Prodigy, he's a beast. Um, it's just a lack of experience. It has to be a big factor, and you have to say that it's a one in a million sort of shot.
And are we kind of disrespecting Kirsten if we are telling you're not audible? Ryan, you're on mute.
I'm on mute. I shouldn't be on mute.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, well, nothing's changed.
Man, this
This
is
is
the
a shocker.
worst live stream I have been a part of. So yeah, you're saying something.
What was I saying? I was saying one in a million. Did you not hear that?
No,
Really? You didn't hear that? Okay. You
no,
didn't hear any of what I said.
no. Only 10-15 seconds max.
Oh my goodness. Wow, where do I so I go back
I
and start again? Okay. Basically, I think Kirsten Prodigy, he may be strong enough, but I don't think he has the experience. I think he's coming up against Bojidar Simeonov, who's a very decorated and experienced athlete, current WAF 80 kilo world right arm champion. I understand that he weighed in at 87 kilos today too. So he's effectively the same weight as Kirsten, who was, I think, 89. So I just can't see it happening. Kirsten may be strong enough, but I don't think he has the experience.
I man, Bojidar at 87 kilos. No
Yeah,
way.
I spoke to Bojidar earlier today, and he said he woke up at 85 kilos this morning. So having a bit of a feed and shoes on and all that sort of stuff, 87 kilo Bojidar Simonov.
That is a completely different beast because Bojidar, I think he has never competed when he's more than 82 or 83 kilos. This is the max that he has ever been. This is the what I remember. And 87 kilos Bojidar and Kirsten at the same weight, that is going to be incredible.
Yeah, it makes it more exciting, makes it more legitimate. And I think that Kirsten is actually happy about that because he wanted that legitimacy of the same weight. So he's got his wish. But yeah, I agree. An 87 kilo Bojidar, yeah, we've never seen that. So it may be very, very strong. It makes it even more so the case that Bojidar is the heavy favorite. But this is one of those dream matchup opportunities for Kirsten. He's obviously done an amazing job. When you're looking at the press conference, for anyone watching the press conference, they'll see how much work he's obviously put into it, and they'll see that his heart's in it as well. He's a very passionate and emotional man when it comes to this match and this opportunity. So I don't think we can take him lightly. And I do think he's a strong enough human, and I do think he understands arm wrestling, and he clearly is an arm wrestler. He's got 17-inch forearms, for goodness sake, at 5'9". So he's an arm wrestler. It's just you just can't discount his lack of experience at the table in ready go conditions, and that plays a big factor in this sport.
Yeah, this is what I was thinking. If those two were standing together, and if you ask a new guy, wh- man, you're
Yep.
going on mute. You're going on mute for me. I hope.
I'm not touching. I'm not changing anything.
Okay, okay. So, and if both of them are standing together, and somebody is asking that which one of them do you think is an arm wrestler? And I think most of the people would say that Kirsten is the arm wrestler, as you mentioned, that 17-inch forearms. That is just crazy, and we hope he can somehow pull it off because it seems to be unbelievable. Like once you were mentioning the same fact about Lachlan, I think, and because Lachlan is at a higher level than almost everyone else in Australia, and but Todd Hutchings was not at Lachlan's level. He was above. So sometimes you need to test that level to be at that level. And Kirsten has had no one to test that level with. So I think it is, to be honest, it is going to be a rough day for Kirsten. But I hope he can at least make it close.
Yeah, yeah, it will be. And I see people asking in the comments section if I'm drunk. No, I'm not drunk. Although there is an empty beer here, I'm not drunk. I'm really not. I've had one beer, but it is late, and I'm laughing at Pradeep with all these technical issues because they all say they can hear me, Pradeep. They said they've been able to hear me the whole
Yeah.
time. So that's good. I don't know why, but I do agree. Kirsten looks the goods, and he is a beast of a man. I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't hurt himself. I don't know that I think he will. He's made declarations that he's willing to break his arm in this match. I don't think. I don't think we want to see that, but I think that he will give it his all. Like I said, his heart's in this. I heard him talk about what this means to him in respect to his son and how he wants his son to be able to look up his name, his father's name in the future, and see that he put up a fight. If at worst, that he put up a fight, and I'm sure he will. But I like Todd Hutchins against Lachlan Adair, as you mentioned. There's something different. There's something about the conditioning that comes with ready go experience. And the conditioning of that is often in the intangibles. It's often not necessarily just the muscular strength, which Kirsten clearly has that in spades. He's got the flexors, he's got the biceps, he's got all of it. It looks the complete package, but sometimes it's the joint integrity, it's the ligaments and the stability of your elbow. And Bojidar is a very elbow heavy arm wrestler. He forces hooks, he leans on you with side pressure. And I don't think Kirsten's going to fight him there. I don't think he's going to be willing to match him at center table. And if he does match him at center table, I'll be stunned. I think that Kirsten is more likely going to attempt to run. We might see a King's move attempt. We might see something like that. I just don't see how he can potentially come forward and face Bojidar, given his lack of ready-go in comp.
And look at the guys that they are facing. They've invited to Pole in Malta. Like Svetan Gashevsky, he couldn't make it, so the replacement is Coach Raymond Slipins from Voice of Arm Wrestling. He will be facing Stefan Kostic. I don't know his name, but Coach Ray is also a really high level arm wrestler. And like Coach Ray, you have gripped up with him. How would you think he will fare against 87 kilo Bojidar?
Oh, how would Coach Ray go
Yeah,
against Bojidar?
yeah.
No, Bojidar would crush him.
This is what I was thinking. Maybe Coach Ray versus Kirsten Prodigy would have been a much better match. But now it is happening, and just look at the guys. Please, if someone can again post the link to the press conference in the comments. Really high level production value press conference inviting high level athletes. This is his first event, and he has already taken it to a different level and setting examples. This is really crazy. And Sasha Andreev is also going there. He's facing Antoine Zamit. They have a guy in Malta. They're saying they're only 5'10" high level arm wrestlers, and they have a guy who can face Sasha Andreev. Man, how crazy is this?
Well, facing him is one thing, but putting up a fight is another. We'll see how it goes. And I admire Kirsten for this. I mean, I'm cut from the same cloth. I jump in the deep end. I seek out the best guys I can so that I can have the best opportunities to grow and test myself. And Kirsten's doing exactly that. And like his story is that he couldn't. He wanted to go to a WAF, and the WAF wouldn't allow him to compete because Malta didn't have a federation. So he was left stranded, and they just said, sorry, until you form a federation and register and pay this money and all this kind of red tape, he wasn't able to. So I feel for him, and I think he's done an amazing job at setting up an alternative. And like I said, the production value, guys, go and check it out. The production value on Kirsten's channel right now, the live stream is pretty damn amazing. Um, yeah, it's good.
And Ryan, let's talk about your channel, your pay-per-view, Pound for Pound Unleashed Arm Fights. So before that,
Yep.
guys, please subscribe to Ryan Bowen's channel and join as a member. I think you're planning on doing one event every month almost.
One event a month is what I'm gonna keep trying to pump them out. As long as I can bring internationals out, especially, I will keep it going. And we've got it was like 678 members in the pay-per-view at the moment, which is enough to fund the international travel of one athlete per month at the moment. We grow that, we bring more. We grow that enough, we start doing crazy things. So yeah, big things coming. And obviously Bojidar, for me, I'm very interested in this match because Bojidar on the 19th of March will be here in Brisbane, Australia, right here in this room. I'll be facing him myself on the right arm. So I can't wait. I can't wait.
So do you have any matches planned? Like I saw three posters for the next event, maybe. So can you give our
Yeah, so
fans?
the next event we have, so other than myself and Bojidar as the main event, we have a four-man arena battle, which is four guys going in, and the winners face each other, the losers face each other. The ultimate winner gets the biggest pile of cash. Second place gets the next biggest, so on and so forth, all the way down to the ultimate loser who just gets his appearance fee. But this is a 105 kilo battle. We've got two guys from the Brisbane club, being young Ethan Tunstall, 105 kilos. He's been in the sport for about 3.5 years. Interestingly, we have Torben Pelikan. Torben is the Michael Todd of Brisbane arm wrestling. He's actually ranked 10th in Australia on the overalls list. Is Torben? He's kind of the gatekeeper to that top 10. He is in there as well. We then have West Australia's Kyle Howarth, a guy who's been arm wrestling for 10 years. He represented Australia at the WAL in 2017. He did quite well over there. He historically was an 85 kilo puller. He's bulked up. He's about 95 kilo. He's actually the favorite to win. I think he's going to come storming into the Australian top 10 at the end of this arena battle. And he is going to be facing the Gold Coast Greg Allen. And Greg Allen is one of those dudes that just is an anti-hook puller. He just hookers just struggle against him. And he's taking on Kyle Howarth in the first round. And Kyle is a hook press puller. So I just told you Kyle's the favorite, but he's facing the worst possible guy to face. So that's going to be the undercard to Bojidar and ourselves, that four-man arena. It's going to be good. The production value is going to be amazing. We got Jake Ward, the Aussie arm wrestler, and Jordan Davis commentating that one live. And yeah, can't wait.
I have one question, Ryan. Isn't it a bit harsh to have a four-man battleground type of matches and all of them are 6-round super matches?
Ah, screw 'em. I want to see bloodshed. I want to see absolute exhaustion. That's what makes it awesome, pretty. When you get two arm wrestlers that literally can barely close their hand anymore, they're just dying on it. I think that's when it's the best. So yeah, and especially when there's money on the line, there's genuine money on the table. The depths that they go to is friggin' amazing. So I love the arena battles. I think they add an extra layer of theater that we don't often get in arm wrestling. That just no rest, 6 rounds, get on the table again. Here you go.
And what about you and Bojidar? Like, how do you see that match going?
Honestly, I am so excited about the match with Bojidar. It's finally my moment. It's finally my moment where I get to just get the update. It's been 2.5 years since I've pulled internationally. I feel like I've progressed substantially in that time. I believe in my progress, and I just want to be able to demonstrate it. I just want to be able to demonstrate where I'm at. And Bojidar is a very established, as we know, he's the world champion 80 kilo arm wrestler. He's weighing 87 kilos right now. He'll probably be similar, maybe even a touch heavier by the time he gets to me because I'm 94 kilos. And I've told him I won't be any heavier than that. And so he said, yep, that's fine, but he'll probably meet me at 90 kilos or something like that. And to be honest, to be able to get to pull someone of that caliber is just such an amazing opportunity for me to test my limits. And I think it's going to be brutal, and I think it's going to be a power on power match. I'm not running from him. He's clearly not running from me. He's a hook puller. I intend to come straight into that hook with him and test out my frame and find out whose bones hold up better. I really do. That's I'm coming straight forward at him.
Yeah, and that match, that Kirsten versus Bojidar match, I think your eye will be on that match because you can
Oh,
draw
incredibly.
some. If
Yeah.
if Kirsten is able to do something against Bojidar, being his first international or maybe even first high level super match, then you can smell some blood in that match.
Yeah.
Definitely, I believe.
If
So
I see if Kirsten gets any success in an outside move or something, I'll be surprised. But yeah, I'll be watching closely. I'll be looking for any cracks. But interestingly, I know I've got a much longer arm than Kirsten. I mean, sorry, than Bojidar. I've got a much bigger hand than Bojidar as well. I've got 4 centimeters on the hand and 5 centimeters from elbow to fingertip over Bojidar. So for me, that starts to shape my game plan. I'm going to be crashing down from a high ground. So there's a good chance that I'm able to seize the rotation straight off the go. But given that my arm is longer, I'm not going to have as much power in the arm. That shorter lever of Bojidar's is going to have more power. So I need to win on the rotation front. He's going to look to get down pressure and drive sideways on me hard. So I can see the match going off the surge 2 or 3 centimeters towards my victory, then it going 10 to 15 centimeters towards his victory as his arm drives, and then there will be a rotation stop. I expect to be in the defensive half for this match, and I expect to stop it with rotation, and then I expect to bleed it, and then once I've bled it a little bit more, if I've managed to take some rotation off him, then my arm will start coming through. But I love that. I love that we both know, Bojidar and I both know exactly what the leverages are of our respective arms, and I think it's going to make for a very fascinating hook war.
yeah, I don't think it is going to be a flash pin either way because Bojidar is also naturally kind of a 80 kg guy, and you are somewhere around 90 kg, 92 kg walk around weight. So even if he bulks up to 87, he's not going to use all of that 7 kilos of extra weight immediately. He needs to get like a little bit more
Yeah, it
saturated
takes
or more
time. Yeah.
mature at that weight,
Like
right?
when I bulked up to 104 for Lachlan, like yeah, I was bigger, heavier. I was probably at my strongest, but it's not the same as walking around at the weight. Where I do walk around at this 94 kilos right now. So, yeah, I will hold it better. But then again, I mean, Bojidar is just established world elite. He's the world champion and he's multiple European champion. He's done it time and time again. He's genuinely established that level. So I know he doesn't fear the match, and I know many of the believers of Bojidar think that he's the overwhelming favorite and that it's going to be a whitewash. But I'm convinced that there's no flash pins either way as well. I just when I look at his performance against Tony Katowski, how he beat Tony was in the war with him, and I'm absolutely certain that I'd be in the war with Tony. Even though Bojidar won that one decisively 3-0, there were long drawn out rounds, and that was Tony at 80 kilos. Ryan at 94 kilos compared to Tony at 80 kilos is a very different beast. I mean, I respect that if Tony was the same weight as me, he and I would be a match as well. It'll be a match. Bozhidar and I will be a great match.
And guys, you can watch it live on Ryan Bowen's channel, but you have to buy the pay-per-view. So please show your support. SG Records has posted the link in the comments. Before we move on to the next before we move on to the next topic, Ryan, I want to read a couple of comments. So JP is saying, hi Ryan, hi Pradeep, hello brother. And 6133 Trapman will pound for pound release a wrist handle, and he's also asking about Goat Spinner when it will be back in the stocks.
Oh, they are literally, I have 400 handles being shipped to me as we speak. They're somewhere in between the manufacturer and myself. So they are coming back very soon, I assure you. Yes,
And
all the handles.
Okay, and we have a super chat from Roger Cunningham. I don't understand what it means, well, but I'll read it out loud. Drink milk, ginger, brethren. Can you explain it to me, Ryan? What does it mean?
I guess he's saying he wants me to get as much calcium as I can in my bones, because if I'm coming forward at Bojidar, I think he's concerned for the ginger brethren, because Roger Canningham, I can't even say his name. Sorry, Roger. He's another redhead, Pradeep. So me and Roger are tight.
All right. So let's talk about Engin Terzi. Engin Terzi is on a mission. He wants to give the entire arm wrestling world all of the matches that we have been dreaming for a very long time. Until about a year or so ago, we wouldn't have thought that East versus West matches, because for the Eastern, Western world, lot of the Eastern guys are not very well known. But when Engin Terzi sets up these matches, we never knew that these matches could be so much entertaining, so much interesting, and almost
Mm.
all of them were really close last time. So, what do you have to say about Engin Terzi's promotions, East versus West
Yeah,
event?
well, he is kicking goals on a major level. I mean, that last East vs West was the most significant supermatch card in the history of the sport, and there's not even a close second. Just the sheer volume of amazing athletes was phenomenal, and it looks like he's going to do it again for King of the Table 3. He's already pumped out, I think, 5 matches he's announced, and he'll probably announce another 35 by the time we get to it, which I think is scheduled for August. He's also got some other event in May, I think, that he's floating as an interim card as well. But um, he's doing an amazing job. He's teamed up with Core Sports, and he is someone who is well and truly connected in the arm wrestling world to the highest degree possible. So everyone respects him. I think by teaming up with Core Sports, he's able to afford to get all these athletes to one central location. And no doubt he will improve in terms of production value and all that sort of stuff. It's only going to get better. So Engin's doing an amazing service to the arm wrestling world, and I'm thrilled to be watching. I mean, Lachlan Adair is going to be over there for that East vs West 3 in to take on Sandra Sadis. I cannot wait to see that match. Awesome stuff.
And Plot Recapped was asking about your injury. How's that
Oh
elbow
yeah,
right now?
it's not too shabby. I mean, I haven't gripped up again since the injury. I've gone and seen my myotherapist. I'm taking every supplement under the sun. I'm taking 2 peptides to heal my damn elbow as well. Got BPC 157 and TB 500. So I'm taking all the advice from all the experts I have on how to heal this damn thing. It feels good when I'm do the movements now that were aggravating it quite significantly a couple of days ago. The pain is significantly reduced, but I'm not yet certain that it's back to 100%. Well, I know it's not back to 100%. I'm going to grip up with Jordan Davis this week, just feel it. I'm hoping to feel at least 80% integrity in it. And I've got a booking with Lachlan Adair for about a week and a half's time, where I'm hoping it'll feel back to normal. But I've got 4 weeks tomorrow until the match with Bozhidar. So I will ramp up very carefully, and I'll be very calculated in the way I do it. I'll speak to my myotherapist after I grip up with Jordan, and we'll decide whether we need to attack it again with some more therapy. But I'm doing everything possible to heal it.
Yeah, I wish you get it completely healed before the match. And let's get back to Engin Terzi. If some of you are not aware, if you were not able to read Engin Terzi's post or watch his last live stream, Engin Terzi had a surprise for us. He had already planned the East versus West 3 for August, first or maybe second week of August, but that was not the truth. East versus West 3, he was planning to do that in May this year. But East and the third event that he announced in August, it was going to be East versus West 4. It was going to be a complete surprise, but that match, that event has been put on hold by Engin Terzi because of the situation going on with Russia and Ukraine. And these were the matches that he was planning on having in May. John Brzezinski versus Oleg Petrenko. Todd Hutchings versus Irakli Zerakashvili. Monster Michael Todd versus Evgeny Prudnik. Somebody asked me, do you think Michael Todd can beat any of the top 10 guys right now? And my question was, in his list, if Prudnik was top 10, I was saying that maybe, just maybe Prudnik. And I don't see right now Michael Todd beating anyone else. So Marcio Barboza versus Zurab Tabrizi. Ron Bath versus Sergey Bogoslov. These were the matches that he had planned. So what do
Yeah,
you think
phenomenal.
about, do you have any info what is going on with our arm wrestlers safe in Ukraine? Are we going to see them
I
here
haven't
very
I, ha-
soon?
I haven't spoken to any arm wrestlers in the Ukraine or that region of the world. Obviously, arm wrestling clearly through arm wrestling you can see very much that we're all humans and we all want this to stop. We don't want this war to happen in any way, shape, or form. So it's very saddening to see it happening. And I'm seeing arm wrestlers from Russia and Ukraine still with the same camaraderie as we've always had. So through sport, we're able to see that this is a terrible thing that's happening. And hopefully, because the internet exists nowadays, and hopefully because everyone can so clearly and openly communicate with each other, that the political leaders of the world quickly see that this is not going to be accepted by the world, and that it ends. But as for the arm wrestling events, I'm not aware of what's possible or anything. I haven't spoken to any of those players, Igor or anyone, since this situation's arisen.
And the East versus West 4 event is going to be in August, and we have already made a video about that. I have already made a video about that. So if I remember correctly, Dave Chaffee versus Gennady Quickvinia, John Brzezinski versus Irakli Zerakashvili, and the other matches are Todd Hutchings versus Evgeny Prudnik and Oleg Zok versus David Dadikian. These are the 4 matches. So again, going back to the East versus West 3 event, do you think it should happen in May this year? Because this is why Engin Terzi has been saying that don't consider me a promoter. And I was always doubtful, Engin, that you are a promoter. We want to see you as a promoter. But I saw yesterday that Engin mentioned that he's just going to cancel this event if those 2 Ukrainian guys that he invited for the East versus West 3 event, if they are not able to attend the event, he's just going to cancel it straight out. So this is, then I got to know that why Engin said that he's not a promoter, because any other promoter may have just replaced those 2 matches. But Engin said that I'm not going to replace them, and I'm not going to tell them that if you are dying over there, it is your job and I'll just replace with you with someone else.
Yeah, Engin definitely is the last man to try to profit from the sport. He loves the sport crazily, and it's evident there in the way he's behaving in that he just wants to honor arm wrestling and honor the arm wrestlers as much as he can. So take my hat off to him.
All right, Lion. Let's go to the comment section now and read some interesting comments. Use the King's move, Ryan. So Tess user is asking you to use the King's move. I don't think your King's move is yet fully functional because you have full range of motion, I guess. Some guys can
that's it there, which is that's as full as it goes. Yeah. Where my left is much straighter, the one that doesn't arm wrestle. So but it's not. And Bojidar is the wrong match for a King's move. Right? It's not the right time. I might King's move Rob at King of the Table 4. I don't think he knows how to deal with it. But Bojidar, no. I'm gonna win in the man's way of winning, which is in the hook.
Earlier, Ryan, my theory about King's move earlier was that I was thinking that maybe only guys with not so much range of motion can King's move in a defensive position. I was thinking that anyone can King's move in an offensive position. But when I saw Brendan Allen King's move Larry Wheels in a defensive position and he has full range of motion, it shows that almost everyone can King's move.
Well, yeah, when he King's move Larry, I mean, Larry's not a good, he doesn't counter a King's move well because of his lack of experience. I think that someone like Brandon may have more trouble against someone who understands how to defeat the King's move more effectively. But it definitely helps. Having that limited range of movement definitely helps. And I think it comes from arm wrestlers whom have always been joint heavy. Like, for instance, John Brzezinski can straighten his arms. I mean, he's the GOAT, and his arms straighten all the way. Right arm, left arm, doesn't matter. And you say, oh, why is that? And you go, because he's never been a joint and heavy arm wrestler. He's always had the strongest hand in the room. So he's always just won with his hand and wrist. And he's never had his elbow on the line. Where Michael Todd, you look at Michael Todd's early days, he was coming forward with presses and he was way joint heavy, really awfully dangerous looking hooking. But he survived that period, and he subsequently developed a lot of tightness in the elbow, calcification in the ligaments and the joints. And I think because of that, he's developed the King's move. And interestingly, when I was with my myotherapist the other day, and keep in mind, I don't arm wrestle on my left to even 2% of what my right does. He grabbed he held the base of my elbow on my left, and he grabbed my forearm, and he could move it sideways. And he said that's normal. There's a degree of play in the elbow when holding the humerus. He could wobble my arm. And he said, that's normal. And then he went over to my right and said, the right doesn't move. There's no give in your elbow left and right at all. There's the ligaments and the tendons have tightened everything up so much. He said, it's very bizarre. He said, everyone that he treats has free play in their elbow. He said, but you as an arm wrestler, you don't. And I think that's because I'm a very joint heavy arm wrestler as well. So it'd be interesting to compare that on someone like a John Brzenko, someone who isn't a joint heavy arm wrestler. Do they still have that free play in their elbow? I'm not sure. But it's a factor to the King's move for sure. I'm not there yet for King's move to really be my thing, but I'll use it if I have to, but not against Bojidar. It's just not the right choice.
So SG Records mentioned in the comments that Kirsten told Bojidar that endurance won't help him because Kirsten will flash him. Your thoughts? And when Kirsten was live on Neil Pickup show, somebody gave a super chat and said that I like the speech that you just gave about arm wrestling, but it won't change the result. And Kirsten has been constantly saying that the result won't matter. He's just going to push arm wrestling. He's just going to continue arm wrestling. And he almost mentions that every time as if he's trying to convince himself that it is not going to affect him in a negative way. I just hope that it is that way because it is going to be really, really difficult for Kirsten to pull that off. I just wish that man luck. And if he loses, he's not demotivated. Like he has been telling us countless times that it is not going to affect his motivation moving forward in the sport.
Yeah, I'm certain that it won't affect his motivation. He's a certain kind of guy, and yeah, he will just push on and move forward. I have absolute certainty in that. Will he flash Bozhidar? I think that's self-talk, self-belief. That's firing up. That's convincing yourself. I mean, I know that Kirsten has expressed to me that he's quite nervous about this match. He feels he's physically ready. He feels that his mind is his biggest hurdle. So it doesn't surprise me to hear the self-talk and the self-belief, and he's just doing everything within his mind to enable him to bring out the best performance. Because at the end of the day, he just wants to put his best foot forward. If Kirsten loses this match, he wants to know that Bojidar beat the best version of him that was possible. But I don't think flash pins are actually going to happen under any circumstance.
Okay, Ryan, let's quickly try to answer some of the comments
Sure.
and then we'll end this live stream. So Wonder Knabe is saying that Ryan's weight at bottom 8 was... How much were you weighing then?
I was weighing at bottom 8, 2018. I would have been weighing 91, 92 kilos.
All right. So I've got two similar comments, same comments from one from E.G. Hedwig and the other one from Wideman. Can you speak something about Pro Panja League in India and discuss it with Ryan? So Ryan, Pro Panja League, have you heard about it?
Is this the one with the amazing production value?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's exactly that. It's phenomenal production value. The amount of clear expertise and money that has gone into it is amazing. I think that anyone who watches it will be impressed. So it showcases the sport wonderfully well. And it won't be long if they keep that up with that consistency. It won't be long before especially the Indian arm wrestling community picks it up. And I mean, Indian sport is huge. So if the production keeps going, it wouldn't be surprise me if those Indian arm wrestlers suddenly are more famous than every other Western arm wrestler out there in terms of the amount of eyes watching. So I'm impressed. I'd love to see once India's at that level, I'd love to see them starting to call out some of the rest of the world. And yeah, it looks phenomenal production. It's the Pro Panja League. It's really amazing what they're doing. So I'd love to be part of it someday. I'd love to get over there and have a crack.
So PPL is the name. In India, we call arm wrestling. In Hindi, it is known as Panja. So Pro Panja League. It is the name of and it is run by Bollywood actors. Two Bollywood actors. They are married to each other. Praveen Dabas and Preeti Jengiani. They are the owners of the Pro Panja League, and they are still in the film industry, but they were mainly in the movies few years ago. This is why they have the money and everything related to production values. So many connections. Like Book My Show is so huge in India. Like almost every movie ticket in India is booked online through Book My Show. Almost all of them. It is such a huge platform, and they got their first pay-per-view, first event on Book My Show as a pay-per-view. So this shows their connections and the thing that they can do for the sport, but it is just not clicking yet here in India. I hope soon it changes to something great.
Just get Devin Larratt on a card, then it'll click. That's all you need to do.
They were trying to...
That man is Midas when it comes to arm wrestling pay-per-view.
Yeah, anything related to Devon gets the clicks, definitely. Pollock Legends. Ryan, has the gap between you and Lachlan gotten any smaller?
I've just moved house, and I think I am a little bit closer now than I used to be. I now only live 20 minutes drive instead of 25 minutes drive. So that was an attempt at a joke, Pradeep. You didn't laugh. But
I
look,
don't think
I
so.
haven't arm wrestled him outside of training. So I don't know. We will know if the gap is closer in April. April 30, we have King of the Table. Sorry, not King of the Table. We have Over the Top. Um, Over the Top. Yeah, it's the OTT confusion that I'm getting in and all the beers I've had tonight. Over the Top is happening on April 30, and we'll both be competing in that. So we'll get another chance to have an official ready go against each other. But we're training with each other very actively. He's helping me prepare for Bozhidar. So Lachlan, I know, is trying to improve his game now after his experience with Todd Hutchins. He's got a new focus and a new direction on what he's trying to complete in his game. So he's very sore and very inflamed in the way that he's training at the moment. So I'm much closer to him than I should be because he's very sore and inflamed.
And Deacon Rogers is a member of the channel. Ryan, any thoughts on a summer North American tour?
Yeah, it'll happen. As soon as the world stops being a big idiot about travel restrictions, I will venture out. And yeah, a North American tour. I would personally love to come to North America for maybe a 2-month period and have a super match every week and a half or something like that. I'm overdue for super matches with a whole bunch of regions of the world. And yeah, I would love nothing more than to come to. I need to finish the story with Justin Bishop. I need to finish the story with Dan Mosier. I'd love to pull Paul Lynn. RVJ, obviously, I'm going to sort out the King of the Table. There's a whole bunch of names that I'd really just love. There's a few people that have always wanted to crack at me that I'd love to, like Brandon Lemon Mulvihill. He's always been wanting a crack. There's a bunch. So over a couple of months, I'd love to get there, tour around, pull everyone, and get some updated data.
Yeah. Rufus is saying, I thought Hutchings was pulling Prudnik. So Hutchings versus Prudnik is East versus West 4 in August, and Hutchings versus Irakli is East versus West 3 in May. Let me just read quickly a couple of more comments and then I'll end this stream. Have you found any interesting comment that you wanted to answer?
Let's have a look. I want to see Pradeep in King of the Table. I like that comment.
Maybe in the future as an
undercard. What's going on? Are you Arif Ertem's like cousin or something? What's going on with that?
In the beard, yeah, I saw those
look
comments.
Like that poster that came out. It was like 90% you.
Except he's twice my size.
Yeah, but you could pass for him any day of the week with the face, definitely. Yeah. So yeah. If you could be 90% of the arm wrestler of Arif Ertem, then yeah, let's get you walking the table.
Arif is basically Levan. He's 157 kilos, and Levan off season, I think he's also around a similar weight. And by the way, did you see Levan weighing? He weighed 175 kilos. People were saying he's skinny or something. I saw I think it was a recent video. I don't remember where I saw it, but he weighed 175 kilos.
He's just looking different, isn't it? If he's weighing 175, he's obviously big. I think the biggest he's ever been is 180. Was it 180 when he pulled in 2019? Maybe not. Maybe I'm getting data wrong. But if that's him at the moment, and he looks soft at the moment compared to his competition form. I think he understands his own preparation and his cycle of whatever he does, and I think he's in a get fluffy phase at the moment where he's just probably eating everything. And subsequently, everyone's been saying, "Oh, look, Levan's small. Look at he doesn't look as hard as a rock like he used to." I remember when I was in Poland, I met Levan at the airport the day before top 8 final. I met him in the airport, and he seemed like a big dude, but he didn't seem like a ferociously big dude. And he was. I remember my first impression going, "Oh yeah, look, that's Levan." I kind of in my mind, I honestly thought he was going to be bigger. Then I saw Levan the next day. When competition day came, he was a different man. He did look like the ferocious giant Hulk all of a sudden, and the chest was out and the shoulders were back and up, and he looked like a different beast. So Levan knows how to peak, and I'm sure he'll be looking huge when it comes to that match.
All right, man. I think that's about it. And
All
do you have
right.
any closing words for our viewers, Ryan? And before that, please subscribe to Ryan Bowen's channel. Please subscribe to my channel. You may not be able to comment because I've switched on the subscriber only mode because I wanted to give more time to talking with Ryan. So please subscribe to both channels.
Man, thanks for having us on. Yeah, best of luck to Kirsten tomorrow up against Bojidar. Do your best, brother. So guys, please go and support Kirsten's channel. Go and subscribe and watch that live. I think it'll be on somewhere around 28 hours from now or something like that. I think is when it's going to happen. But anyway, I'm sure it'll be scheduled there. And if the production quality is anything like their press conference, it's going to be amazing. You just got a super chat.
Yeah, just when we are about to go. Kevin Temke, greetings from Canada to my favorite arm wrestling YouTubers. Thank you very much, brother.
On your brother. That's very kind of you.
And we got one more comment in the beginning. He was saying that two of my favorites, something like that. I forgot to read that. But thank you, brother, whoever you are. And right, bye-bye.
Stuff.
Thank
All
you,
right, man. See you guys.
No more technical difficulties next time. I promise that.